Hey guys, Carrie Gardner here at Center Stick FX. Today's workout is going to be a stability ball core dynamic workout. So we're mainly using a large stability ball for this workout. I'm going to use one small TheraBand loop, and I use the Power Systems Versa loop, and then some dumbbells to increase intensity for a couple of the exercises. So really you only need those 3 pieces of equipment. The bulk of it being just, you can get by with this workout with just the big stability ball. All right, we're gonna jump into 6 dynamic warm-up exercises that we're gonna do, and then we will get started into our main workout. All right guys, so we're gonna be lunging back here. Now we're gonna do a twist, and a side bend. So this I call my lunge with the 3-way twist. Notice when I'm lunging, I'm keeping both hips up underneath my body here. I don't want my hips sticking out to the side. If I'm allowing that to happen, I'm not keeping the stabilizers in my hips engaged. So I really want to make sure that I'm not going to stick them out or let my hips sway side to side if I squeeze my glutes and engage them by pulling the muscles towards each other. Great. So we're going to just keep doing these nice lunges, getting the spine warmed up. We're doing rotation. We're doing lateral flexion. The leg that's behind, I want you to think about engaging the glute there. It's really going to open up the hip flexor in front. It's very helpful to get a nice deep stretch by engaging the opposing muscle group of the muscle that you're trying to get a good stretch on. So with the case of the hip flexors, which are in front here, you want to engage the glutes, which are on the back side of your hip. All right, one more here. Twist and side bend. Okay, so now we're going to do figure 4. So I'm going to put my leg up here in this number 4 pattern, if you kind of look at Roman numeral 4. And now when I'm squatting down, I'm squatting towards the leg that's bent over here. All right, so we're standing up, and then I'm going to switch legs. So this is really making me work here with my balancing. My pelvic floor is engaged, my abs are engaged. I'm working hard to keep my knee tracking toward my outer 2 toes, both on the way down in my squat and on the way back up. So again, I'm sitting towards the hip that's folded over. So now I'm going to sit back this direction towards this hip. Then you can really feel it here in the IT band. So this is, we're warming up our glutes, we're engaging them here, we're stretching them all at the same time. So we're going back and forth between that glute engagement and then the stretch. Couple more. I can feel my heart rate starting to come up. And speaking of which, just like every time heart rate's coming up, I would start your workout here, guys. Functional strength training. That's what I'm going to do. All right. So we're going to now go into hip hinge. So with the hip hinge, I'm standing, balancing on one leg. I'm swinging this leg through, and then I'm going to step down. So I'm opening up my hamstring, and then I'm stretching. So we're opening up with a nice stretch. I'm engaging it on the way up. So if you were doing these like outdoors, you can travel down the sidewalk or the road or out on a field as a team. I usually have like team athletes working together, going in a couple of lines to do this stuff. And I will show you here from the side too, so you can see what it looks like. So notice I'm hinging over, opening this hamstring up, swinging that leg through, bending over with the hinge, standing up. Good. Squeezing those glutes is super important. To be able to balance here, single leg so well, you really want to engage your pelvic floor. Your abs are nice and tight. Good. A couple more here. We'll do one more on each leg. I'm sure I started with my right leg. Good, and rest. Awesome. Okay, so next we're doing quad calf. So now I'm going to this quad stretch position, and then I'm going to raise up, lifting my heel into onto my ball of my foot here. So I'm getting that calf engagement. I'm stretching the quadricep. This takes work to be balancing here. And by going back and forth, we're keeping your body thinking. So again, it's that pelvic floor engagement. It's your abs being back. That's the key to all your balance. That's how dancers balance. They have a core that is just firing so beautifully for them that they're able to lift and to hold and to be super stable. It takes lots of years of practice and good neuromuscular patterns of activation. So that's the big thing with core, is that It really is about the foundation. So what we're doing is by doing these core workouts, we're building the framework that you need so that you can really be successful in athletics and honestly successful in leading a pain-free life. We're gonna do one more here. Good. Okay, now we're going into a side lunge, and then I want to rotate the thigh in, rotate it out. So now we're lunging to the other side. We're going to twist, twist. Now side lunge, and notice my leg's straight that I'm leaning away from. We're going to that lunge. My knee is bending towards my outer two toes of the leg that I am lunging towards. There you go. We're rotating. Keep thinking about that rotation, internal rotation, and then external rotation. When you internally rotate and then go into external rotation, you should really feel like a nice pull up near your hip socket where you're getting that opening. There we go, a couple more here. And then we're gonna have one more motion for our warm-up. This last one here, we're gonna do a hip flexion with spine rotation. So knees coming up, my hands on the outside. I am not actively pulling my leg across my midline of my body. I'm holding it there and resisting it for the lever for the spine rotation. So here, pelvic floor's up, abs are nice and tight. Hip flexion, bringing that knee up, and then getting nice rotation through your spine. We're rotating, standing nice and tall. This one feels really good. Here we go. We're gonna do about 4 more of these. Started on our right leg, so here we'll count number 2 towards those 4. And last one, number 4. Good. Awesome, so shake that out. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to do, we're gonna grab a little like TheraBand loop. Okay, this is what I call the, it's a Power Systems Versa loop is what they call these. So I'm gonna put my band on around my ankles. If you have any kind of knee pain at all that you have, go ahead and put that up above your knees. That way you won't get the varus valgus stresses into your knee joint. So if you have any kind of knee stuff, I definitely recommend putting the band above the knee. If you don't have a TheraBand like this, you can lay down on the ground and do side lying leg lifts. That's a good substitute exercise for this. But what I want to do with this, I'm going to take about 3 steps to the right, and then I'm taking about 3 steps to the left, because I think that's about how much room I have for you guys to be able to see me here in the camera. So we're wanting to get in about, we'll go for 15 to 20 reps is about right, and that way we can kind of keep track of it here with my 3 steps to the right and my 3 steps to the left. I think this is our 3rd set of these. So we're up to 9, we're halfway. Great, guys. And also, when you're doing this, big important thing, keep those feet parallel. I don't want to see any toeing out occur. If you toe out, you're transferring the workload from your abductors to your hip flexors. And this is not supposed to work the front of our hips. This should be feeling all here in the sides. We're getting close to the end here. Also, when you're doing these, I want you to lean. If you're going to be leaning, you lean in the direction that you're traveling. If you lean away, it's your body's way of cheating and using trunk lateral flexion instead of hip abduction to do the workload. All right, great. Okay, I am going to leave it on just so I don't have to take it on and off. But what I'm going to do, you can either take a dumbbell, you can have your hands free, or you can load with weight. So I'm going to get a nice light ball here for the med ball ab rotations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down here on the ground, okay? We're going to stand nice or sit nice and tall, leaning back so we have nice core engagement, and then we're going to be rotating here. I have a little bit of a sore back today, so if I lean back farther, it's going to be more uncomfortable for me. Notice my feet are on the ground. If you're feeling fine and you don't have any kind of back symptoms, you can take your feet off the ground and increase the difficulty level. But today I'm going to stay right here because I want to keep that spine nice and healthy. Just want to activate the rotators. All right, so we're going, this is 6, 2. We're going to get a set of about 15. Right, left is 1. Here we're at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Great. So leave that ball down on the ground or the dumbbell, whatever you used for your resistance. And we're gonna leave that there while we go into our second set of lateral slides. All right, thinking tall posture here with our knees bent, pelvic floor is engaged, abs are tight, keeping those feet parallel to each other. Here we get these lateral slides with the band going. All right, that's one down. Nice job. We're going to do 6 of these all together. There's 2. Again, really focus on no leaning. If you have to lean, lean toward the direction that you're going. We want to control, control, control. No sliding of your feet along the ground. We want to really pick up and sit down our feet so that we're having to control this abduction movement and adduction movement with our musculature. Again, the substitution on this one is side lying, leg raises. Keeping those hips stacked, one on top of the other if you are on the ground. Really think about that. Try not to open up your pelvis. All right, I think I might have lost count, but we're gonna do one more set back and forth here to make sure. So we've either done, we're doing 18 or 21 on them. Either way, definitely feel that workload. Great job. Okay, so now we can kick this off. Grab that med ball again, if you'd like, or again, you can do this with nothing in your hands too, okay? So notice my feet, they are gonna be on the ground. I'm nice and tall leaning back, and I'm not touching the ball onto the ground when I'm doing this rotation. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Nice job. If you guys haven't already, I would so appreciate if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. It makes a big difference having the subscribers. And then you can get the updated live stuff when I drop it. You'll know, you'll get notifications if you set it up that way so that you can see that I have all new fresh information, fresh videos out for you guys. Okay, so our next exercises that we're gonna do, I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna grab my big stability ball. So we just need the big stability ball here for the next number of exercises, really for the rest, almost the rest of the way out. So go ahead and grab that. First one up is our back extension, okay? You can use a med ball like what I had and weight this if you'd like, or some dumbbells in your hands, but I'm gonna demonstrate it with nothing for today. I'm laying over the ball here. My legs are in a V so that I'm nice and stable. I'm gonna round my low back. So I'm just rounding over, just giving myself a little stretch here. Probably feel really good to you guys too to just get a nice little stretch on here. Okay, so what we're doing now, we want our pelvic floor engaged. We want abs nice and tight. We're gonna raise up so that our bodies are at that, you're kind of, at a 45-degree angle, but notice my upper body, my torso is in line with my legs. And then I'm rolling down over the ball, and then I'm reaching up and out and rolling back down over. So we're gonna go to about 15 on these, okay? So this is 3. Engaging those glutes, everything's nice and tight. This is a back extension exercise. It's also working your hip extensors. So there's a lot of really deep musculature in your spine that you really wanna activate. So again, you can be holding dumbbells in your hands here for this, or you can be holding a med ball in your hand if you want to add an increased difficulty level. We're going to get a couple more in here. And 15. Nice job. All right. Next exercise, I'm going to give you 2 options. One is going to be a plyometric option for you to do. And these are going to be, I'll demo for you here, they're going to be the X jump. So you're jumping up and putting everything out to the side. Okay, so that's option 1. That's going to be your higher intensity. Option 2 is going to be the overhead squat. So I'm going to grab this dowel rod here because I really like it for posture. You can have dumbbells in your hands if you'd like. You can have an Olympic bar for really high weight load there over your head. But what I like to do is by using like this dowel rod, if you have a broomstick or something, it really helps you get this scapulothoracic engagement that you want. So that's your shoulder blades and how they articulate with your rib cage. So my feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart. I'm toeing out, and now I'm coming down into this squat, okay? I do not want my knees to go past the toe of my shoe. I'm really working to sit back as I'm coming down. I'm working to keep those arms overhead. All right, so again, you can be doing either X jumps, grab a set of 15 in of those, or you can do these overhead. You can have nothing in your arms too and just have your hands reaching up for the sky and really kind of trying to reach back as far as you can while you're doing this overhead squat. Think about whether you're going down evenly too, and I'll show you from the side here. Notice I maintain that neutral spine curvature. I'm not tucking my tail at all. I'm really reaching back when I'm in this position. And a couple more here. 14 and 15. Great. All right, grab that stability ball. We're going to go back into those back extensions. I'll go kind of at an angle so you guys can see again. My feet are in a V. I'm rounding down over the ball, and then I'm reaching up and out, rounding down, up and out. Glutes are nice and tight here. Remember the goal to get your body, I don't want you to go up into hyperextension. I want your end point to be where your torso is in line with your thighs. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, really reaching out tall in front of you. 10, good. 11, 12, 13, 2 more here, 14, and 15. Nicely done. All right, grab the dumbbells. Remember this next one, if you want to do the more advanced, you're going to do the plyometric X jump. If not, join me here with the overhead squat. Again, fighting for that height, keeping your arms up. So I'm in an X position for this too. We're really activating that posterior chain. Here we go. Remember, we're slightly toed out, knees track toward the outer 2 toes. I don't want to see any of what we call valgus collapse. That's when your knees collapse towards each other, either on the way down or on the way up. People are most likely to get that valgus collapse when they change directions. So really pay attention to yourself. If you have something that's reflective that you can look and see what your knees are doing. I like for people to not look at their body like looking down, because that'll change your back posture. I want you to look high on the wall in front of you when you're doing a squat. But if you need to double check, really try to look down just in the bottom of your eye. But it's better to have feedback from something visually reflective, or having a training partner be able to give you feedback if you're having that, that knee collapse. One more here. Nice job. Okay, our next 2 exercises, we're doing a stability ball ab pike, and then we're going to do hamstring ball curls. So there is a nice progression that we can show for the stability ball ab pikes. When you roll out on the ball, anytime you roll out doing an exercise, the closer the ball stays to your stomach, the easier the exercise is going to be. I'm going to start a little farther out over here so I can give you the full roll out look. I'll demo what this exercise looks at the once you progress to the more advanced phase. Notice I'm coming up into a pike here, and then we're rolling back down. So I'm coming up into that pike, and then I'm controlling my way back down. Now, that is advanced. I want you to roll back and put the ball above your knee, and then work on bringing your glutes up. So this is pulling from my lats. I'm using my abs here, okay? So you can see that you can do even like a modified, just getting the motion of being able to get your hips up in the air here. This is teaching your body the mechanics of this, okay? So we're gonna get another 10 in. There we go, 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice job. Okay. Now, we're going to alternate between those and stability ball hamstring curls. There are varying different levels of difficulty with the hamstring ball curls. So to start with, I'll have you laying down on your back. Our hands are out to the side, palms down, okay? We're gonna come up into this hip bridge position. Level 1, we're going to bend at the hips, drawing our ball back towards our glutes, okay? That's level 1. Level 2, for more advanced, keep your torso in line with your thighs. Now I'm lifting my whole body weight up to get this hamstring ball curl, okay? So here's number 5. We are going to go to 15. If you want even more advanced, you can do single leg ball curls. Level 3 is when your hip would stay down. Level 4 is doing the position we're doing right now with single leg. 3 more here. This is 13, 14, and 15. Great. All right, back to those ab hikes. So again, you're gonna have to start out farther in the room and then rolling out. When the ball's closer to your abdomen, it is easier, okay? And then we're coming up into that plank and back down. Do not let your hips sag towards the carpet in between. I want a nice, solid plank in between your pikes. This is somewhat of a lat pull exercise too. So you're really engaging the latissimus dorsi, the muscles around your rib cage, under your armpits there. For ladies, it's really the muscle where your bra strap goes around your torso. We're gonna get 5 more here. 12, 13, 14, and last one here, 15, and rest. Good. Swing that ball around. Do the hamstring ball curls again. All right, everybody on their back. Feet are up. Go. Palms are down. Hips are up. And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Glutes nice and tight and high. We're at 9, 10. You know you're using your hamstrings evenly if the ball is rolling back evenly. That's what's so neat about using the stability ball here. 14, all those dynamic core stabilizers are firing to keep you from falling all over the place here. And a bonus one, we'll get 16 in. Nice job, guys. Okay. All right, our next set of exercises, we're actually gonna do one exercise at a time because they end up being single leg or single side of the body. So we can just alternate back and forth between without having to alternate between 2 different exercises. All right, so this next exercise we call the stability ball log roll, okay? I'm rolling out towards you guys, and I'm gonna have the ball land somewhere between my waist and my knees, so on my thighs. We start out here in this position. Now I'm rolling to stack my hips one on top of the other. So I'm gonna do 10 rolls here towards my left side. I'm opening up my left hip. That's 4. I go 5. This is the deep rotators of our spine and our core. And 1 more here, 10. Now I'm going to do the log rolls to the other side, lifting my right hip. 2, 3, 4, 5. Really hold that plank nice and tight. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice job. Back to the other side. We're going to really burn that upper body posture here, being in the plank position. So there's a lot of engagement here in your shoulder girdle. Pecs are firing as stabilizers. Our shoulders are working as stabilizers. 4 more here. 4, 3, really open up. 2, and 1. All right, other side. 1. I almost went all the way over on that one. 2, 3. Nice job, guys. We got them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Okay, we're gonna roll out of that. Just put your ball over here to the side a little bit. So the next exercise, we're gonna have a couple of varying levels of difficulty with it. First, I'm gonna grab a quick swig of water here. All right, so this is gonna be the single leg squat jump or single leg squats, okay? I'm gonna start using my left leg first because that's my non-dominant side. And I want to challenge my weaker side first so I can kind of see where my upper limit is. I'll show you here what the advanced plyo is going to look like on it, and then how we're going to do it if you don't want to do the plyometrics. And actually, I'm going to show you with my right leg for the plyo, just so that I don't bother my hip, just in case. So I am coming down here into this squat position, driving the knee up with the jump, okay? So that's what that looks like. 2. And then we're going to go 3. Now, if you're not jumping, 4, you just keep it down here like this. 5. So you're like a runner. You're driving that knee through. 6. Get that jump going. 7. 8. It doesn't have to be high. 9. 10. We're going to 15. 11. 12. 13. 14. And 15. Okay. Other side. So now we're on our left leg, right knee's up, reaching back, getting that little hop in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, knees track towards those outer 2 toes. 7, and you can always do them here. 8, like that. 9, 10. I like to challenge myself to not put my foot down in between. So I have to be single leg that whole time. 12, nice job. 13, 14, and 15. Great job, shake those out. So, plyometric loads. I've explained this before if you guys have watched some other videos of mine. Plyometrics, the amount of time that it takes you to complete them, it should take 6 times that long for your heart rate to recover. So, notice I have an increased respiration rate here. That is totally normal. You should too if you are applying the plyo to your body. So, I am looking to keep my cardiovascular fitness higher right now, and to save us time too. I'm gonna go right back in to the other leg, not giving myself that full 6 times the work ratio rest for it, okay? So here we go on these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, really focus. 7, don't let your hip go out to the side that you're squatting on. Keep those glutes nice and tight. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Nice job. Stay with me now. Going into that left leg. Begin on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 11, we're almost there, guys, 12, 13, keep your hips under you, 14, and 15. Nice job, those are tough. All right, next up, we're gonna do side planks with hip abduction. So you don't need any equipment for this. If you like, you can put a yoga mat down on the ground. We're gonna get down here onto our side for side plank. Notice that my knees are bent like this, and you come up, elbows are directly underneath your shoulder, okay? We can be in this position here. We can do our side leg lifts. If you want it to be more advanced, you can put your legs straight out to the side and come up into a plank like that. You can do a leg assist to get into that plank and then put it out. That's another helpful way. But today, I'm gonna demo here in this bent knee side plank position, holding it up, and we're gonna get 15 leg lifts in here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, make sure your knee is not pointing towards the ceiling. I want it pointing forward, so you're really working your hip abductors. 14, one more here, and 15. Swing those legs around to the other side. Going right back into it, elbows underneath your shoulder. Knees are bent, up in that side plank position. Legs straight and begin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the side's a little harder, 9, because you already were leaning on it, 10, do the side plank on the other side, 4 more reps here, 13, 14, and 15. All right, guys, we're doing great. We only have 2 more exercises left after this, so that's the light at the end of our tunnel. I know it's kind of hurting right now. Everybody up, elbow underneath that shoulder, legs straight, and begin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These core dynamic days are so great. 10, 11. This really works our hip stability. 3 more reps. You gotta really push through it. Your leg's feeling heavy, but push it up anyway. 1 more here. 15. Nice job. All right. Back to our other side. Elbow underneath us, hand on hip, pushing up, legs straight, and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, shoulder blades should be down and back. 5, good scapular thoracic posture. 10, don't shrug your shoulders towards your ears. 12, 13, 2 more here. 14, last one, and 15. Nice job. Whew. Lay on your back here, you can bring your knees to your chest. We can roll our knees over to the side, do a little rotational stretch here. Knees back to the middle, and a little rotational stretch to this other side. All right, guys, grab that stability ball one last time. We're gonna get in some push-ups. We're gonna alternate the push-ups and alternating Supermans. So again, when you're doing a plank type exercise with the stability ball, the farther you roll out, so the closer the ball is to your feet, the more difficult it's going to be, the easier the exercise. Putting your fulcrum, your axis of rotation of the apex, the top of the ball, near your navel is gonna make it the easiest, okay? So you can choose where you wanna be for this one. All right, shoulder blades should be down and back. Good posture, not allowing our hips to sag towards the ground, and begin those push-ups. We're going to 15, 1, and if it's getting tough partway through, you can always walk your hands back to make it easier. 4, abs are nice and tight, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost there, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, and since it's stability ball day, we'll do our alternating Supermans on the stability ball today, okay? So, we're laying over the ball here. I'm gonna be raising my right arm and my left leg, and then placing them down. And then I'm gonna alternate between that. So I'm doing my posterior oblique sling of my spine. So I'm getting that crisscross pattern. So we're going to 20 on these. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Really try to keep those legs straight as you lift your thigh up. 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right, nice job. Now we're gonna do one more set of each of those. So we're gonna roll on back, get ourselves roll forward here for the push-ups. Abs are nice and tight. Remember, the further that you roll out on the ball, the harder that it is. All right, begin, cranking out another 15, let's go. 1, 2, 3, keep your glutes nice and tight. 4, 5, draw that belly button up towards your spine. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more here. 12, 13, 14, and 15. Nice job. Now we're gonna go right back into those alternating Supermans. Again, rolling over the ball here and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, nice job guys, 18, 19, and 20. All right, we can move that ball back, kind of get it out of the way, and we're going to go into our cool down now. All right, everybody stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart. We're gonna look at each other, we're gonna go into a swan dive here, down and towards the floor. Go ahead and cross those arms over. Feels so good stretching out here. And drift towards your right leg. And we're going to drift back towards that left side. Placing your right hand on the ground, we're going to reach up, getting a nice spine rotation. You can feel a nice inner thigh stretch as well. And switch to the other side, opening up. All right, nice job. Now while we're in this wide stance, we're gonna go into a side lunge. So you can really feel we're open up the adductor here. And I really like to roll my hip forward and then back, kind of opening up that hip socket. There we go, and lunge to the other side. Getting that nice stretch in. Good. All right. Okay, now we're going to be back towards the center. I want you to look at the screen, looking up at each other as we come back, reverse swan dive to the top. All right, we're going to get into a nice quad stretch here, feeling that open up, kind of relaxing our hip flexor back. Squeeze the glute of the leg that you have up. And we're going to switch to the other side. Nice quad stretch here. There we go, great. It's so important after a workout, any workout, to get a good stretch on. So now we're down on the ground. I want to do a seated spine rotation here. Nice and tall, spinal column pulling up. We're going to rotate around, looking over our shoulder to the back of the room. Nice deep breaths in and out. As you exhale, sink a little deeper into the stretch. And gently come up out of it. Switching to the other side. Looking back over that shoulder. Inhale in, exhale a little farther. Great, now while we're down on the floor here, we're gonna go into a straddle position. Our hand here over on our shin. We're gonna get a nice side, lateral side flexion here of our spine. And switching to the other side. Great, and one last groin stretch here. We're gonna reach forward into the straddle. Try to keep your feet up towards the ceiling, your toes pointing up. And walking back up. Okay, now I want you to fold in your left leg. And we're gonna swing that right leg behind. We're gonna go into what's called pigeon. So I've kind of stretched that back leg behind me, and I'm really trying to square up my pelvis and push my sit bones down towards the ground. So this is a good IT band stretch. So I really feel this in the hip of the leg that's forward. And we're gonna sit over and we're gonna switch sides here. Bend that right foot in front, switch to the left foot and back. Again, trying to square that pelvis up as you go into pigeon. Great job. And relax out of it. You guys have done so great today. I'm really proud of you. We are going to keep this going. I'm going to do the best that I can to get as many of these videos out to help you guys really work towards that health and wellness of this new year. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Synergistic Effects. It's in the button on the lower right hand side of your screen. And check out our channel and you can see all the other stuff that I've been posting. I really like to do a movement of the day, Monday through Friday, so that I'm teaching like quality biomechanics. And then if you head on over to Instagram or Facebook, you'll see from the 5 movements that I've taught during the week, I'll give you guys a workout, a bonus workout on Saturdays. So anyway, please join me, become a fan, subscribe. We'd love to have you. Okay guys, take care. Bye.